Now we're filming today's Rumors Roundup as part of our live NFL Daily Show. If you want us to continue to keep doing that, simply like today's video. Let's get into the latest around the Steelers. Justin Fields, that is the plan for the Steelers to start him once again in week 3, after starting week 1 and week 2. Sounds like Russell Wilson is not going to be a full go at Wednesday's practice again due to his calf injury. And if things continue, it is a very valid question about, hey, is Justin Fields ever going to get, or is Russell Wilson ever going to get that starting job away from Fields? Or is it just Fields' job now? Is that what has happened here? Through 2 games, the numbers are not spectacular. The completion is very good, 70% completion rate. The passing yards, 237, is not great for 2 games. The rushing yards, they're there. They've actually not been very efficient on the ground, which is kind of interesting from Fields. They've kind of condensed it down from those high variance plays a little bit, but he hasn't made mistakes. And I think that's a big deal for a team with a good Steelers defense. Let's look at some of these advanced stats, right? EPA per play among 33 qualifying quarterbacks. I did an 8% garbage time filter to take out garbage time, right? Like when games are somewhat close, right? He's in the positive, 21st among QBs. His success rate, a little bit lower, 40%, tied for 25th. The completion percentage over expected, which is negated by drops, requires decent hands. In theory, it's an average amount of drops, so if you have a bunch of bad receivers, that number could dip. But completing a higher percentage relative to down and distance and yards and average target and everything there, so been fairly accurate. Now you compare those to what Russell Wilson was in 2023, acknowledging a different supporting cast. EPA was negative. Success rate was actually a little bit higher, which means there were fewer bigger plays that led to big points and stuff, but they didn't have as many negative plays or as reliant as some of those big plays. Still was 30th, though. And the CPOE was positive, but not by as much, up by 4%. So what you kind of have here, to an extent, some similarities. Got QBs that tend to hold the ball a little bit long, that aren't putting up massive numbers. They don't look like true top 10, top 15 quarterbacks. The main difference is one of them is younger, is more athletic at this stage in his career, and is currently winning football games. And I think it's tough to go away from the young guy who's winning games for you. When in doubt, tie goes to the youngster, right? If there's something committed to said veteran, which there's not with Russ. So who should the Pittsburgh Steelers start? RW for Russell Wilson or JF for Justin Fields when both are healthy? Let me know in the comment section, the pinned comment actually, of today's show, especially if that ad comes on YouTube. The week 2 takeaways. I got a couple I want to get into here. Number 1, I am very worried about Bo Nix. And a big factor in this is the stuff we were worried about in terms of his profile coming out, what we saw on film, the advanced numbers, everything. At Oregon, exactly what we've seen so far. He didn't push the ball downfield at Oregon. Now, there were some decent successes, but that offense was not a challenging offense. The A-dot was very short. It was not a push the ball downfield, NFL-style advanced passing offense. The passes beyond 5 yards, only through 2 games, I'm not writing them off yet, have been terrible. He is 11 of 36 beyond 5 yards. This is not beyond 10 yards, not beyond 20 yards. It's 5 yards. He's got 4 interceptions on 11 completed passes in 36 tries. And it's not just inaccuracy, it's some bad decision. I don't think he's seeing the field well. I don't think he's making good decisions. And he hasn't been that accurate downfield, which raises concerns when the profile was, a lot of short stuff. Feasted on yak, pretty accurate in short yardage, but how much do you trust him downfield? Seeing the exact same stuff so far in Denver. This is bad. Now it's early, only 2 games, but this is also why you don't take victory laps based on preseason performances. Because guess how many QBs have put up this number over the last 10 years? None of them. Your groupings are Kenny Pickett and Bryce Young. That's who you've been worse than. It's bad. So what is your concern level over Bo Nix? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comment section of today's show. Some more takeaways, these two team-specific ones. Well done, New Orleans. You made the move from Pete Carmichael to Clint Kubiak, and the overnight switch makes me think that the Pete Carmichael should be banned from NFL games. Like the massive difference in the Saints' offensive scheme under Clint Kubiak versus Pete Carmichael is shockingly impressive. They make life so easy. That's not slander against Derek Carr, who has been balling as well, hitting deep shots, talking trash. I love what I've seen from the Saints. No team, frankly, has been more impressive to me through the first two games relative to expectations from New Orleans. The next step is how they respond if they're not in that super positive game script, but they've had their way back-to-back games, not just against Carolina, against Dallas as well. Now, today's show is made possible by Game Time. Game Time has a new feature, by the way. It's called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to only show you incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. It is curation to make it easier on you to save money on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. You can toggle their all-in pricing feature. It shows your total cost up front, so there's no surprise fees at checkout. The panoramic view from your seats, also a nice feature so you don't become the meme of the guy who's stuck behind a wall and can't see anything at the actual game. So download the Game Time app today, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, create your account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today because what time is it? It's game time. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. But do remember, those terms apply. Number 3, the Cardinals might be a sneaky good football team this year. There's more confidence in that on that team. You saw it, right? Marvin Harrison got going. Bad week 1, had an awesome week 2. Go figure that one of the best year process we've ever seen was going to have a big game after that. The Kyler Murray throw where he's celebrating before the ball's caught, that's when you know you're cooking. I love what Drew Petzing does on offense. I think they still need a little bit more talent, especially on defense, but the progress is very much heading in the correct direction in Arizona. In the wrong direction is Bryce Young, and my take lasted one game. My take on last week's live show was I would just play Bryce Young all season long. Because worst case, you tank commander yourself into the number 1 overall pick, and then you trade down, don't take a quarterback, and you give Bryce Young as many reps as possible. Either he's bad and you get a top pick, or he develops. I forgot one critical thing. These are competitive football players, and the locker room turned. That's what they were facing. You saw it on the All-22. There was one play in particular. Bryce Young doesn't step up into a clean pocket because he's broken. He doesn't have confidence. He's seeing ghosts out there. His internal clock is way too sped up. He doesn't trust what his eyes see, and he's skittish right now. He's broken from last year. Happened too fast, but he's broken. And Adam Thielen is open. He's coming across the formation. He's there. Bryce Young has to step in the pocket, hit the deep shot. It's a massive gain. Bryce Young doesn't trust his pocket, doesn't step up, bails backwards into a sack because he didn't have the right footwork, didn't have confidence in his offensive line, and you can see Adam Thielen after the route jumping up and down mad. That's a veteran player. I think that ownership too, by the way, team had lost faith. And if you hadn't made the move, your head coach is going to lose the entire locker room. And that's how everyone on that staff gets fired again. We've got news and rumors for you here all season long. So make sure you don't miss out. We already did Bryce Young trade destinations. That is available on the channel. My boy Tyler Jones took care of that. Go check it out if you haven't already. And make sure you guys are subscribed. Final takeaway from week 2, then we'll get into injury news. What an upset week. And you had 16 games, 5 favorites covered. That was it. There were 8 different upsets. The Dolphins, 2.5-point favorites, lose by 21. The Niners, 5-point favorites, lose by 6 to Minnesota. The Colts were 2.5-point favorites, lost by 6 against Green Bay. The Cowboys, 6-point favorites, got blown out at home 44-19 by New Orleans. The Jags were 3-point favorites. The Browns won by 5. Lions touchdown and a half favorites. Bucs won by 4. Ravens 9-point favorites at a 7-point lead. Blew it. Raiders win by 3. The Falcons, the Eagles, 6.5-point favorites. Weren't going to cover. Blew the game anyway. Lost by 1 against Atlanta. Sometimes the NFL is a crazy lady, and it was a crazy week too. We've also got more troubling injury news here. There's been quite a few of those in recent weeks here. Good news first. Justin Jefferson said he will not miss any time with his quad injury. We'll get practice reports starting on Wednesday for the non-Thursday night games. However, Rams receiver Cooper Kupp, he's going to go to IR. Ankle injury, as the Rams have lost Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and like 3 of their offense. Half their starting offense is out. Brutal injury luck there for the Rams. Also kind of bad injury luck for San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, a groin injury, will cost him several weeks as they continue to battle without key players such as Christian McCaffrey, who's also gone on IR. It's Jordan Mason's season, apparently. Tua Tagovailoa has yet another concussion. He is going to go to IR, raising significant concerns that were there as soon as it happened about his overall future in the NFL and what's going to happen on that front. Acknowledging that, look, it's Tua's decision. It's up to him. What do you think he should do? Should he retire? Y for yes, N for no in the comments. How about Chiefs running back Isiah Pacheco? He needs surgery for a fractured fibula. He's going to miss at least a month, maybe 2. Kareem Hunt going to the practice squad. It's about to be our Gator-owning friend Carson Steele, who's going to get a lot of work in the backfield for KC. A.J. Brown is going to miss a few weeks with a hamstring injury, which really impacts that team's passing game. I think you saw it in Week 2 against the Falcons. Big loss there, Philadelphia. It means more targets for Devonta Smith, and maybe Jahan Dotson gets going. And then already not having Hassan Reddick, and boy, you wish you had him right now, Jermaine Johnson out for the year with a torn Achilles for the Jets, putting them in a pretty rough spot to figure out how it all works out as they move forward from a pass rush perspective.